Hey, where the hell are you right now? Well, who knows? Don't mess with me! There's nothing of ours in the house. What's going on? Well, that's because I took all of my stuff and left. Huh? I don't understand. Why would you do that? Well, we got divorced, so there's nothing strange about me leaving, right? Huh? Divorced? I filed the divorce papers. What? My name is Claire, a 35-year-old high school student. Just kidding. I'm actually an office worker. I have a husband named Evan, and we've been married for 5 years. Evan used to work as a company employee, but he quit his job about 2 years ago and started his own business. However, the business hasn't been doing well, and we've been in the red for the past 2 years. But my income is pretty good, so we're managing to get by. Our relationship as a couple is average, not particularly bad. The problem that I feel is the horrible attitude of my mother-in-law and sister-in-law who live in my husband's family home. Every time I meet with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, they mock my appearance and complain about something. Each time, I feel sad and stressed. My in-laws' home is about a 10-minute drive from the apartment where my husband and I currently live, and my husband often takes me there. At the beginning of our marriage, I put up with going to my in-laws' house for my husband's sake. But their bullying has gotten too much recently, so I've started to talk back. Even so, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law don't back down. And my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, they always try to extort money from me for something. Hey Claire, I have a friend's birthday coming up. I want to buy a present, so could you give me $500? Huh? $500? What are you buying? I'm gifting a trip. I'll be going along too. No, that's strange. It's basically like I'm giving the gift, and I can't afford to give $500. You're really stingy, Claire. What are you, a miser? Seriously, even though Evan supports her. Excuse me, I'm the one supporting him. My husband hasn't contributed 1 cent to our living expenses in the past year. And you, sister-in-law, get a job. You're a NEET at your age. Why does my mother-in-law accept my sister-in-law's NEET status? I wanted to spell out all of these thoughts, but my husband interrupted. Hey Claire, I have a friend's birthday coming up. I want to buy a present, so could you give me $500? You really understand, Evan. I'm touched. You're a good son. Then can I also get about $300? There's something I want. Sure, that's fine. Claire, you should have about $300 in your wallet, right? Come on, give it to her quickly. Whether it was due to his pride, my husband made me hand over the money to my sister-in-law without any hesitation. Moreover, my husband started saying incomprehensible things like, "Thanks to me, we can live this luxurious life." I can't keep up with my husband's recent actions. On the way home in the car, I pointed out to my husband, "Why do you put on such a show?" "I have my pride as the eldest son." He began to say more absurd things. From there, it turned into a significant argument. Basically, once you give them money, they start to become overbearing. What's wrong with making my own mother happy? We can't afford to live that luxuriously, you know? Do you understand? You're not contributing at all to our living expenses. So what? We got quite a bonus this summer. Don't rely on that. That money is for savings. Since then, my husband and I have completely fallen out and often fight. How can my husband act so arrogantly while still running a deficit? Why can't he stand not being in a position above me? His bad points started to stand out more and more. I thought there was no need for me to do things I disliked for such a guy. So when my husband recently said, "Hey, we're going to my mom's," I replied, "Go by yourself." My husband started spouting some strange theory, saying, "What are you talking about? It's normal for the wife to come too." But when I retorted, "So you're abnormal because you don't come when we go to my parents' house," he clicked his tongue and said, "Do whatever you want," then went back to his parents' house alone. A weekend free from my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. How comfortable and pleasant that is. Since I had time to myself, I did a lot of groundwork for my dream. That dream is to buy my own home. I gathered information online and ordered pamphlets. My dreams and hopes were expanding. I was excited just thinking about the new house. I want to furnish it with these kinds of items. While gathering information about furniture like sofas online, I imagined placing the furniture I chose with care in my new house over and over again. Doing such things Time flew by, and before I knew it, it was evening, and my husband had returned. Oh, welcome back. Huh? Oh, is he still angry? How petty. He should be more mature as a man. I had no intention of pleasing my husband, so I didn't speak to him after that, and started making dinner. Then my husband suddenly started talking. You've been pretty cheeky lately. Huh? You're defying me, saying you don't want to meet my mother and the rest. Defying? We're equals as a couple. Plus, your mother and the others always pick on me, so I don't want to go to your parents' house anymore. That's what I'm saying is cheeky. Normally, wives listen to their husbands. If you say you can't do that, it's divorce. Huh? Divorce? Ha! Surprised? You don't want to be divorced by me, do you? But I'm seriously angry at you. I've already signed my part, so it's ready to be submitted at any time. I'll let it slide just this once. But if you defy me next time, it'll be an immediate divorce. Reflect on that. Saying that, my husband smirked and ordered, I'm going to take a bath. Hurry up and make dinner. Once I confirmed he was in the bath, I couldn't help but cheer. Yes! Now I can break up with that man anytime. I made dinner in high spirits. From then on, I worked hard to save money. I was almost ready to pay the down payment. It was hard to keep my excitement hidden, to stop my face from smiling, but in front of my husband, I did my best to keep calm. And finally, I bought a house under my own name. All that's left is to get a divorce after the house is finished, and leave the house where I live with my husband. I started packing my things, little by little, without my husband noticing, and sent them to my parents' house for the time being. I had told my parents everything, and they understood my situation. And finally, the house was completed. When my husband went back to his parents' house as usual on the weekend, I moved all my things to my new house. The new house is very comfortable, and both the interior and exterior are just as I imagined. As I enjoyed the pleasant smell of a new house all day, my husband called me that night. Hey, where are you? Well, where could I be? Don't mess with me. There's nothing in the house. What's going on? Well, I took all my things and left. What? I don't get it. Why would you do that? Well, since we're divorced, it's not strange for me to move out, right? Huh? Divorced? I've submitted the divorce papers. What? We're strangers now. Don't mess with me. I won't accept that. But you're the one who said we can divorce any time. As a businessman, you should take responsibility for your words. Anyway, this is the end for us. With that, I hung up the phone. Finally, I was free from my husband. That night, I was able to sleep soundly. Living in my new home was very comfortable, and every day I was able to wake up to fresh and have pleasant mornings. Today, I decided to invite my parents to my new home for the first time. As I was cooking alone in the kitchen, my father and mother came with a bottle of celebratory sake. Both my father and mother were surprised to see my new home. And then the three of us toasted. Even though it was a bit early, we started a party. Suddenly, the intercom of the house rang. Huh? Who could it be at this time? When I checked the intercom, there was my ex-husband, ex-mother-in-law, and ex-sister-in-law. Why are you here? From today, my parents and I will live here. My father is in the hospital now, so when he's discharged, he will live here. Open the door right now. No way, that's ridiculous. Why would I have to do that? Please, leave my property. Immediately. Then my ex-mother-in-law stepped forward. You cheeky girl. Listen, what's yours is mine. If you understand, open the door. What are you talking about? I'm single, you know. Huh? Did your son not tell you? We've already filed for divorce. We're strangers now. What? The ex-mother-in-law and ex-sister-in-law turned to look at my ex-husband. He seemed to be explaining something to them. I couldn't tell for sure through the intercom screen, but he was probably saying something like, I don't accept this. I said, anyway, you can't enter this house. Please leave, and hung up the intercom. Then my ex-husband started shouting through the front door, open the door! I want to talk! As I was wondering what to do to get rid of him, a police car pulled up in front of my house, and they took my ex-husband into custody. The police seemed to have taken him into custody. When I opened the front door, I saw my ex-husband being pinned to the ground, desperately resisting. It hurts! Why is this happening to me? My ex-mother-in-law and ex-sister-in-law were shocked to learn that their son was divorced and stood there, stunned. They weren't arrested, but they were escorted away in the police car. After watching my ex-husband and his family being taken away, I went back inside the house. I wonder who called the cops. Then my father made a peace sign. In situations like this, you call the police immediately. Trust my always calm dad. We resumed our party with a fresh round of drinks. As for how my ex-husband found out where I live, it seems he followed me home from work. Because he confessed to stalking me, if he shows up again, he'll be arrested on the spot. With his timid personality, he probably won't come near this house again. I also got a restraining order against his family. After that, it seems my ex-husband's business didn't go well, and he's just been piling up debt. With the divorce, the money he and his family had been mooching off of me was gone. And with his father in the hospital, they had no income, so it seems they had to sell their house. It's really a case of getting what they deserved. On the other hand, I invited my parents to live with me in my new home. My parents are very happy, saying I've been incredibly filial, and they are enjoying life in the new home. I want to continue to cherish my parents and live happily as a close-knit family.